Quincy, what's good with you, boy? I'm in King.
Joining me on the show right now are two Harlem hip-hop legends who now host their own popular sports and music podcast called It Is What It Is. Please welcome my brothers to the show, Mase and Cam'ron. What's up, fellas? What's going on? How y'all doing?
CBA, what's up, CBA? What's good, baby? How are you?
I tell you how I am. I'm jealous as hell. Y'all out there in Vegas, the weather look nice. You ain't paying no state income taxes. I'm jealous as hell. Talk to us. First of all, what are y'all doing out in Vegas? What's going on?
But before we get to what got it while we're in Vegas, I just want to tell you thank you for getting on our show early before anybody else even got on our show. And you're part of the reason that we're in Vegas right now. So I just want to tell you thank you, because you didn't have to take a chance coming on our show, and you really was one of the first people to ever do that. So thank you so much for doing that. We really appreciate that.
Man, y'all brothers have made me so proud. I love your podcast. I love the work that you're doing. Mase, talk to me about, first of all, before we even get into a whole bunch of sports topics, because I know I see some of the takes y'all got. Y'all just wild. Y'all just wild as hell. But when y'all started this podcast, Mase, what was the thought behind it? What inspired it? How did it come about?
Actually, Cam had shot a show or two, or many shows, and they were going really, really well. And he invited me on there. And when he invited me on there after just one show, I was like, yo, Cam, you really got something right here.
Wow. And
then I was talking to him. I said, yo, what if we do it together? And from there, he, killer, he started bringing up the money amount. He said, I put this much in. I told him my percentage I wanted. He said, mate, listen, I already put this amount of money in. You're going to have to put this amount of money in. And then I had to match him. And my brother was gracious enough to bring me in. And, thanks to Cam for believing in me and believing that we could take it to another level. We thought that we could do anything together. When me and Cam get together, it's always a special moment. Pause.
Yeah, and I don't know what he's saying, man. I'm happy he asked me to do it, because we haven't been speaking for years, and to partner up on something that was, we didn't know where this show was going to go. We said we're going to keep going until we get there, but to have my brother back, just being my friend, and us not speaking so long, and then being successful that quick, I'm glad he asked me, man, because it was a hit from the beginning.
I want to know, before I get into some questions, I want to know, Cam, what did you think was going to make this podcast successful? What was it about you and Mase that made you say, yo, we're going to do it. We're going to be a hit. We're going to make this happen?
Well, what happened was this. When I first thought of the idea, so many people actually do podcasts or be on their podcast. And I'm like, if I got to talk to people for a living, I would hate it. So I was like, I talk shit about sports all the time.
Right.
And I said, I want a professional setting, but a barbershop dialogue. So we got the barber. So when I first did the show, I said, I'm going to get suited up. I'm going to get a professional setting. And I'm going to talk to people like we talk in the barbershop, or we talk on the block, or just in the street in general. And when Mase wanted to come, when I asked Mase to be a guest, and, we've been cool for about a year. Like I said, we haven't spoken 15, 16 years. And at that point, when I asked him to be a guest, he said, yeah, and he got on the show. I'm learning his personality again. But after the first show, I said, oh, this is the same personality. This is the same guy. And I said, I thought he changed. Right. He ain't changed. This the same dude that I ain't speak to 15 years ago. So I said, yo, it's a no-brainer, because I'm like, the reason why I think this show is so dope for Mase is because you got to realize when Mase was at the height of his music career,
right?
He left. And even when he was at the height, it wasn't internet. So when you only got to see an interview with Mase that may have been 3 minutes, or videos that's 3 minutes, or a magazine article where you get a quote. Mase didn't really get a chance to get his personality across unless it was a video or a 3 or 4 minute, 5 minute interview. You really get to see the personality come from Mase. So there's so many people like, yo, I ain't know Mase was that funny. I ain't know Mase got jokes. I didn't know Mase is that. Because Mase, one thing about Mase, if he ain't feeling it, he'll leave. I got to call it. If his phone go to voicemail, I got to panic. And I'm like, yo, did he skip down? One thing about Mase, if he don't like what's going on, he'll cut his phone off and you'll see him in 6, 7 years.
Damn.
So every time his phone go to voicemail, I panic.
Yeah, he's trying to say I'm Ben Simmons.
Mase, that's where I was going. But Mase, I don't know if Cam ever told you this. The first time Cam and I really hit it off when we was talking, I saw that video he put out. He was pissed off about Ben Simmons. Look, he did a video. I'm really getting sick and tired of this. I'm watching cats going up and down the court. And this brother right here, he just out. He ain't doing nothing. I mean, Cam was losing it. I'm asking you, Mase. Yeah, I know your personality is different, but do you get like that? Do you find yourself, as you talk in sports, music, what are you most passionate about between the two genres? And more importantly, how in do you go about some of these, whether it's artists or athletes themselves? How do you really, really feel about these folks?
I actually feel like even on the show, that's where we compliment each other, because Cam got a lot of these relationships, but he's kind of biased on the truth. So my part is to come in and tell the honest to God truth about everything. So that's what I'm really passionate about, people knowing the truth unbiasedly about what's going on in sports, because I think a lot of people get a break. Until you hit your rant or Killer hit his rant, a lot of people skate by with a lot of subpar, performances.
I gotta agree with him, because I'll say I ain't trying to mess my floor seats up with my relationship.
You ain't trying to mess the floor seats up?
Yeah, I got some friends in the NBA, and I get these floor seats, and Mase says I'm not being cool with nobody.
That's real. That's real shit right there. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I cuss a little bit. I ain't on ESPN, on YouTube. The point that I'm trying to make to y'all is this: you absolutely right, because some of these cats will turn against you. They get you some tickets, and you utter a negative syllable about them. They pissed off at you. They want to take the tickets back. They ain't want to talk to you, Cam. I know it's like I definitely know it's like that. But let me ask y'all this: as you've been doing this, the kind of reception, Mase, that y'all have been receiving has been what exactly? I'm talking about from the sports world.
It's been really amazing, and sometimes partially overwhelming, because you're getting a lot of people that's giving us fanfare that we looked up to all of our lives, from a sports aspect. And then when you see those guys, like people saying stuff like, man, Mase and Cam robbed me of 20 years of this. I could have had this 20 years ago. And stuff like that. It's really humbling to think people think of us in that space.
Let me give you a scenario real quick, and I won't be long-winded about it.
All right.
When you're saying people in the sports world, I'll give you a perfect example.
Please.
Somebody said from the Charlotte Hornets that Paul George was the GOAT of basketball, period. So I had to think, like, this kid is out his rabbit-ass mind saying that Paul George is the GOAT ever.
The GOAT.
The GOAT. I'm talking about over Michael Jordan, over LeBron James, over Kobe Bryant, over Isaiah Thomas, over Magic Johnson. Paul George is the GOAT. I went crazy and said, I don't know what this kid is smoking. I don't know where he's been, but he's out his damn mind saying Paul George is the GOAT. Fast forward 3 weeks later, Paul George sees Mase in Summer League and says, why I can't be the GOAT? What's going on, Mase? Tell Cam why I can't be the GOAT. So
yeah, they surrounded me. I had to call Cam. I said, Cam, Paul Jordan got me surrounded right now.
Did you tell him, because we love you, we know that you all world, you're a baller, but you haven't even played in a championship series yet? Did you tell him that?
Nah, I ain't.
I'm just saying. I mean, if we sitting there talking for the purposes of talking, I love Paul George. I was on podcast. I was on podcast P. I know what I understand, but damn, I'm like, wait a minute, brother, you ain't playing the NBA Finals, let alone win one. You can't be the GOAT yet. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he can't be the GOAT yet.
Cam'ron, let me ask you this question. What's more difficult to cover in terms of the sensitivity element? Is it covering professional sports? Is it covering the music industry? Commenting about it.
Good question.
Well, to me, it's, we come from music, so it's hard to, I'm trying to think about how to answer this question correctly.
Okay.
We're going to tell the truth no matter what.
Yeah.
You're going to tell the truth, and sometimes I think that artists, talking about music artists, are more sensitive to athletes because they'll take something that's, oh, they're talking about me or it's beef. So where athletes are going to get talked about, whether it's us or anybody else. Look, I remember, we're old enough to remember when ESPN had one champion. Now ESPN is sports all day long, all night long, 24 hours a day.
Right.
Sports Center comes on from 11 p.m. to 8 a.m. or 7 a.m. whenever the next show comes on. So it's constant sports. So to answer the question for me, not for Mase, I would say music because people take it, what you say, too seriously. So we're sports, whether it's us or not, somebody's going to talk about what's going on.
What about you, Mase? What about you, Mase?
And for me, I think it's sports because just like you know, sometimes you're a savant at what you do, and you know exactly what you're talking about. And people try to discredit your knowledge because you didn't make it to this level or that level, and they tend to think, well, that can't be true, and how would he know? But some of the best coaches have never played. They never played.
So we, as we sit here today looking at y'all and what y'all have been able to accomplish, I'm looking at the industry itself in the world of sports and beyond, particularly with music. And I think this day and age calls for a level of truth. Not to say that it wasn't there in the past, but the hell with all of the pleasantries. You're not trying to be disrespectful. You're not trying to be evil. But one of the things that annoys me to no end is when a bunch of people come on TV with me and we got to couch everything with all of the laudables. When I bring up LeBron James, I literally made a ticker on First Take on ESPN going like this: great father, great husband, entrepreneur, businessman, actor. I had to say all of this. I said, because damn, I can't sit up here and say he's the second greatest player of all time without people feeling like it's insulting. It gets annoying to me. Does this excite y'all, or have y'all found yourselves annoyed by having to couch some things or having to deal with, if you didn't couch something, having to deal with the fallout when all you was doing was talking about sports or music and breaking stuff down through your lens? Mase, I'll start with you on that question.
Yeah, to me, sports is like art. Everybody got an opinion, and everybody have a different lens in which they view things from. Because to me, I wouldn't have them too, but you know, that's my opinion. You know.
To answer your question, Stephen A.
Yeah.
I get them Rich Paul calls too. Yo, calm down on niggas, man. Calm down, bro.
All the time.
Yeah. So I know what you're talking about. Dr. Rich Paul, that's my guy. In general, look, to me, it's fresh for me and it's new. And when you got somebody like Patrick Beverly coming back and saying something, or Draymond Green saying something about what we said, to me, it's like, as long as y'all know where the culture's at and paying attention, whether you're mad about it or indifferent, as long as you're watching, like, for instance, we'll give you a situation with Patrick Beverly. Patrick Beverly, he said he doesn't have sex before games because it takes away. And I told her, and basically I had it taken. I said, yo, Pat, go have sex, man. You're averaging a single. It's all good. You might as well go have sex. It's cool. Right. So he got mad and he was like, yo, Cam, I liked you better in the movie. And when you was playing Rico in the movie, and I'm like, yo, you know that I was acting, right? That wasn't, I'm not the nigga from the movie, bro. Right. My name is Cam. So he went back on his podcast, said some good things about it, back and forth. But just knowing that I'm the culture, and I have to take that to effect too, that some of these players, man, came up listening to our music, right, or watching movies, and so on and so forth. So now when they see us talk about sports, they like, hold up, I like Cam my whole life. I bought all his albums. Now he's critiquing my game. And it's crazy. Like, it's crazy. So I'll be like, sometimes I get a little conscious, but I got a job to do at the same time.
You know, I want to transition a couple of subjects because I've been aching to ask y'all about this stuff, right? Because you brought up, you know, what you talked to with Pat Beverly and whatever. Draymond Green, he's making news. Suspended for 5 games after that headlock he threw on Rudy Gobert. I thought, first of all, it wasn't a headlock, it was a chokehold. Let's call it what it is, okay? It's a chokehold, all right? Now suspended for 5 games. Fair or not, Cam'ron? Was that fair or foul for 5-game suspension?
I think, see, there's another relationship. Draymond. But seriously, to be honest with you, I think it was definitely a low game suspension. I think he should be happy with the 5 games. I think if this was David Stern, it'd be 45 games. Yeah. I think minimum would if it was a different commissioner. I think Adam Silver's more of a players commissioner than David Stern was. So he talks to players. He is more opinionated on how they feel. And I think this was a very, very low end suspension. I remember Carmelo Anthony punching somebody in the face in Madison Square Garden and getting about 35, 40 games or something like that. And I think this was way.
Also remember, that was one of those games where Nate Robinson got in a fight. You know, it didn't quite end the same way it ended with him against Jake Paul. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's different ending. Exactly. But go ahead.
Exactly. No, but I was just saying that I just think, to me, it's kind of low. If I had to judge it, and I would say anywhere from 8 to 10 games, and no disrespect, Draymond, but I'm just saying, you know, Carmelo hit on a flash punch, got 35, 40 games. I don't remember the exact amount of games. I remember it was a long.
Neither do I.
It was a long.
It was lengthy, though. It was lengthy, though. I don't remember the amount of games, but it was lengthy, yeah.
It was a lengthy. This chokehold was about a 17-second thing. Yeah.
He was trying to make him go to sleep.
Yeah, he put him in
sleeper.
What'd you think of, Mase, what did you think about Pat Bev saying Cat didn't do a damn thing, Karl Anthony Towns? I mean, he was supposed to do something. What'd you think about that?
Yeah, he was definitely supposed to get active. Pat Bev was right about that.
He was right.
And that's what made the low game suspension really crazy, because that fight could have spiraled into something crazy because so many people got involved. And when you think about how far Draymond ran to get in the fight, he wasn't even initially in the fight. He comes from the blind side choking niggas.
So y'all been friends for years, since high school, if I remember correctly. What if somebody did that to one of y'all? What would the other do? If somebody snatched y'all up the way Draymond snatched up Rudy Gobert, what would one of y'all do?
Listen, me and Cam is like that. So back in the days, a guy named Dame Dash, you might know the name.
Yes, I do.
Dame Dash said he was going to beat me up. Cam grabbed the baseball bat and said, yo, Dame, you can't do that, Dame.
I feel you. He got your back. He got your back. Go ahead, man.
And we love Dame. We love Dame.
That was a hard decision, making this up, because we all was cool. All of us was cool. But see, the thing about Dame is he's one step lower than a professional boxer. A lot of people don't know he fought Golden Gloves and everything else. So I'm like, that's not a fair fight for me. Anybody, let me tell you this, Stephen A. If you get into an argument with somebody and their first reaction is, so you want to box?
Oh.
Not fight.
Not fight.
That's a problem.
Not get it on. No, do you want to box? That means they have a little knowledge about.
They got a little knowledge. Knowledge.
But Dave Dash, to be totally fair, that's my big bro.
That's both our big bro.
Ain't nothing but love for Dame this way. Let me ask y'all this question. I heard that, I got on that lady, the wife of Joe Smith, a couple of weeks ago, because she made news, diming out former NBA player Joe Smith, former #1 overall pick Joe Smith, diming him out, talking about everybody know we got money issues and all of this other stuff. Oh, I thought that was trifling. I thought that was trifling as hell on her part. Having said all of that, I heard that y'all talked with her and Mase, that you asked her to do something. You care to enlighten my audience about what you asked this woman to do?
Well, actually, Stephen A., we thought we was flying in the body rub babes, but she came out of nowhere and said she wanted to be the one to give Cam the massage. So that was crazy. And then we was talking about it, and she was having a conversation. I asked her, was she a ride or die? She said she would ride, but she wouldn't die. So I said, okay, we got a new terminology now.
Right.
You're a ride. What you want to say, Killer?
What I'll say about the situation, Mase got her to give me a massage.
So you got the massage already?
Yeah, it's on our show.
Oh, damn.
On the show.
Okay.
She did it live on the show.
Oh, my Lord. So she gave you the massage?
Yeah.
Well, then, you know what my next question is, right? Was it good? Was it good? Was it good? I'm just asking.
She got paid. She
got paid. She got paid. Now, far be it for me, because, I ain't trying to be Dr. Ruth like Sports Illustrated. Them talking about me being Dr. Ruth or something like that. I ain't trying to do all of that. But damn, I feel somebody got to look out for the fellas. Our society has been Oprah-fied. There's not been enough men out there looking out for men. We've been subjected to Oprah. Everything is a dude's fault these days. Do y'all not have a problem with the wife filming the man while you arguing with him?
Let me tell you how this all played out. This is what originally happened, how this all came about. Our moderator on the show, Treasure Wilson, y'all know as Stat Baby. Me and Mase decided to give her own show. It's called Check Out the Stat. It comes on Fridays at 3 p.m. on our YouTube channel. Come and talk to me. So me and Mase would decide to give her an opportunity to do her own show. She wanted Joe Smith's wife to be on the show. Mm-hmm. So when she was coming on the show, she told Stat Baby, Treasure Wilson, I'm not going to do your show if Kim and Mase is not there. We're not on that show.
Yeah.
That's totally her show by herself.
Right.
She said, well, I won't do your show unless Kim or Mase is there to do it.
Wow.
So when I said, fine, no problem. Now, mind you, this was my day off. I wasn't even supposed to be at work this day. So I came to Sat's show so she could do the interview, make that prior obligation. She could make it. When she got on the air, her cleavage was out. It was oiled up. And she knew how she was coming on the screen. So I said, you have nice cleavage. Because it seemed like it wanted to be, cleavage wasn't
Damn right.
My thing is this, Stephen A, with me, a lot of girls, I got a lot of female friends. And what girls do, they do things, and not me particularly, that drive us guys crazy to say, I'm going to put on these Daisy Dukes and oil up, and I'm going to oil up my legs. I'm going to oil up my body.
Damn.
And then when somebody compliments, oh, you got nice size. What you looking at me for? You knew what you was doing before you left the house.
That's right.
You just do this.
You bought that armor all for a reason. You bought that armor all for a reason. Go ahead.
Exactly. So here's the thing before I won't be long with it. I wasn't supposed to be there. I came so Stat Baby could get the ratings on her show. And then when I arrived, your cleavage is showing. Secondly, we asked, what have you been doing? Oh, I have a massage company called the Body Rub Babes. Oh, do they travel? Yeah, we travel. So when Mase found out that they travel, he tried to book one of the Body Rub Babes for me, and it was hard.
Wow.
Right, so that's what happened. But to be clear, and to add on what you just said, listen, they take these bites from our show and put out what they want to put out. We was on Joe Smith's side 100%. He's a number one pick. The fact that he doesn't have any money right now disturbs us terribly, and we was trying to figure out a way that where the NBA could take care of these players that put so much into the game. Joe Smith said he made $61 million his entire career, but after paying taxes, lawyers, agents, etc., that dwindled down to $18 million. And we talked about that on the show as well, and we're saying that was definitely not a good look. And we was hoping that some of Joe Smith's former NBA friends that were still cool with him help look out for him, man, because we thought that wasn't cool at all. So we don't want.
It wasn't cool at all. It wasn't cool at all. And by the way, we need to say it ain't cool for women to be talking about their spouses publicly.
Absolutely.
Privately,
and that's what I
Mase.
tried to get her to understand. I tried to get her to understand that you said you was married to this guy. You said you was there for better or for worse.
That's right.
But it seemed like all the ors she wasn't there for. She wasn't there for the or worse or die.
Only the better.
I said, you said
Only
you was
rich.
a ride or die, but you didn't die though.
That's right.
And
Well, she, figuratively speaking, she is gonna die because if she lose, Joe, who gonna want her? Who gonna want her? Well, you know how you roll. I wouldn't want her. I'd have divorced her ass on the spot. I ain't gonna lie to you right now. She's been out. She'd have been out.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, sure.
Real quick, because I want you to finish the same, but just that we're on this topic. And I know you wouldn't want either female. We have that 100% down pat.
Right.
Who's worse right now, her situation or Jada Pinkett Smith?
I personally think, wow, that's a damn good question, Ken. I got to think about that for a second. That's a damn good question. Who's worse?
And then I got one
Joe
after
Smith's
that.
wife or Will Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith? I'm going to say Jada. You know why? Because Joe Smith's wife is just betraying all of her vows, just throwing him under the bus.
Yeah.
Jada has emasculated Will. There's a difference. Now, I'm not saying that Joe Smith's wife didn't do that either, but in the same breath, you on hard times, you just kicking the brother while he's down. That's really making you look bad. In Jada Pinkett Smith's case, not only is she making herself look bad, she making him look even worse. And this brother was look, we all know why he slapped Chris Rock. We all know that. We all know why, okay?
Yeah.
When you emasculating this man but so much and all of that stuff, then you looking at him, she gave him that look like, what the hell you gonna do? You just gonna stand there and let him joke around about me like that?
Right.
That's why he got up there like that. Now, he wouldn't have slapped you. He wouldn't have slapped either one of y'all. He wouldn't have slapped the Rock. He wouldn't have slapped, hell, he wouldn't have slapped Snoop Dogg. He did that because it was Chris Rock. But that's where I'm at with it. Jada Pinkett Smith is much worse. What was you gonna ask me, Mase?
Yeah, I was going to ask you, that was a good one. That was the semifinals. She go to championship.
All right.
Who's worse, Larsa Pippen or Jada?
Damn. You know what? You know what? I'm going to still say it's Jada Pinkett Smith. Want me to tell you why? Because if Larsa was with MJ, that would be different. She with the son. Now, it's not great. It's not a good look, but that don't have anything to do with Michael Jordan other than that's his son. Okay? And, you know, that's all that is. It's kind of embarrassing situation for Scottie Pippen, and I get all of that, but that's not MJ directly. In Jada's case, everything she has done has served to smear the name of Will Smith. And I think it's more direct impact, and that's why I would say Jada Pinkett Smith is still worse than Larsa in that regard. Before I let y'all get on out of here, my last question to y'all, because I want everybody to know that as you move forward, as you march forward, first of all, you're still musicians. You could go out there and make music and make money off of making music anytime y'all want to, as gifted as y'all are. I want to let the audience know, do you plan on doing any of this, or you're married to this podcast right here and continuing to blow it up for years and years to come? I'll start with you, Cam'ron.
Well, the first priority is definitely the podcast. We have some great relationships. Shout out to Underdog Fantasy and our other partners. So we have some priorities here. But the question is not really for me. The question is for this guy. He takes me to the studio. We do 92 songs, and then he'd be like, "I'll let you know when we put it out." And I have no date on it. But this guy is still probably one of the best rappers. Right now, I would put him top 8, 9 rappers. He'll say number 1. He said he doesn't rap like that because there's no competition. But if it's up to me, we could go on tour tomorrow. That's a question for Mase.
Go ahead, Mase.
He put me on the spot.
Yes, I am.
We're putting out music.
You putting out music?
Yeah, we're definitely putting out music.
How soon?
We got to put out something, right? I think probably Black Friday.
Okay.
Now look, Stephen, they remember he saying this.
Black Friday.
Look, man.
We got to at least drop a record.
Look,
we got something special we got to drop.
I got to get ready to get on out of here, man, but I want to let y'all know I'm proud of y'all, man. I was happy to come on the podcast. I love what y'all doing. I love that rawness that y'all can bring to the table. There's a lot of cats trying to do it, but y'all actually are doing it. So keep up the great work. Keep working hard. Stay on your grind. Make it happen like you've been doing all your life, man. Both of y'all. Much love and appreciation to you.
And thank you real quick for doing what you're doing as far as the coach is concerned, because people like you, they make us think that we could do what we're doing now, and congrats on the new studio and everything else you got going on.
Thanks a lot, man.
Thank you so much, Stephen A. We'll be up there to use that studio.
Damn right. Damn right. I'm going to make sure I got another couch. It's going to be a newer couch. It's a whole bit. We're going to be set up. Ain't no doubt about it. Appreciate y'all, man. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, bro.
All right. My thanks to Mase and Cam'ron. You can catch their podcast. It is what it is. Every weekday.
Versi, top dog, the top one.
Versi, what's good with you?